Hey everyone, it is Ellen Jody, your PLC lead for high school dance on the Godot Communities website. I am back with the third and final segment of the final webinar for the 21-22 school year. The last two segments we've been talking about all things end of year. So the first segment was about planning an end of year celebration for you and your dancers. And then last segment was talking about budgeting ideas, maybe starting a booster club or, some fundraising and all those kinds of things. And then this webinar will be about, I know you want to get out of the building for summer, but we're going to talk about planning for next year. I know this year's been rough and long and all the things because it's pretty much the culmination of the 3 pandemic years. And I think everything's just come all to this point and we are all ready to go. I just passed one of our SRO officers in the hallway and he was like, I'm done. So I think we're all ready to go. But we still have to think about planning for next year and what that looks like for you and your dancers and your school and the culture that you have created within your classroom. So it really is a necessity to think about next year. Okay, let's start. So I'm going to ask a few questions. Are you the type of teacher or person who has a procedure for everything? Are you organized to the nth degree? Do you have 3-ring binders that have tabs that are very neatly organized for each and every activity you do? Maybe you have a binder for your show week. Maybe you have a binder for the field trip. Maybe you have a binder for a county dance day, that kind of thing. Do you follow a calendar each year with when to do different things? So say order show t-shirts this week and it's 4 or 5 weeks out from your show. Collect money for county dance day and it's 2 months out from county dance day. If you are that person, I commend you because I am not that person at all. I'm not that teacher. I'm not that person. I don't think I'd say I'm unorganized because I would never be able to get these webinars done and on the website if I was a hot mess. But I'm not quite as organized as I think I'd like to be. But I do like to reflect each year on what I felt worked with what I did, what didn't work, what I could do better, what different types of things could I do to be culturally responsive to my students. So what I did was I came up with a list of 10 things. So basically there's 9 things on the list. The 10th, it could be the first or it could be the 10th. And that one is take a break. So that could mean that you want to walk out of this building and never think about it again until whenever your first, pre-planning day is. Or that could mean you want to do all this and get it over with in post-planning and then take your break. So that's an important one. Again, especially after the last 3 years that we have endured here in public ed. So I'll just go through my list. The first thing I like to do during post-planning or towards the very end, we have shorter days when we do our finals. And so the dance final generally doesn't take the whole 2.5 hour block. So once the dancers get done taking their final, then I will put them to work and we deep clean the dance studio. All the surfaces get dusted, like all that kind of stuff. I try to gather the lost and found, which somehow is always a ton. So how do you leave your jeans and your coats? And I don't get it. But anyway, I clean all that up. I actually, the last day of school, I actually take a wash basket and I collect all the things. We're talking like North Face stuff, like just expensive clothing that they leave. And so what I'll do is I'll take it home and I'll wash it and then I'll bring it back. And then, either they'll get it the next year or, if someone needs something, there's inevitably a pair of black leggings that someone left and they're gone. And then someone will need a pair of black leggings. So anyway, I digress about that. So I really deep clean the room, all the surfaces, just everything. So that's the first thing I do. And then I go in and organize the dance closet, because for me, the spring show, it gets ripped apart. Well, I guess I do it 2 times a year, because the fall show, it gets ripped apart as well. So I'll go in, I'll try to bring everything out. And then the kids, again, on those finals day, will help me organize. And then it's all put away and nice. I can walk back in for fall show, and it's all ready to go. Number 3, I like to reflect on my teaching practices for the year. I think each year the kids change, especially in the last couple of years. So I like to come in and just make sure that I'm doing, or like write stuff down, make sure I'm doing what is best for me and the dancers in my class. Number 4, I like to reflect on my procedures for activities. So what worked, what didn't. So I was talking about, do you have a binder for everything? So I think I talked about my costume procedures in one of the other webinars, and how I tweak it every so often, or every year almost, to figure out what's going to work the best. So I sort of go through that each thing we do. So, we usually go to the KSU festival. So it did, we didn't go this year, but, did what I did for that work. For County Dance Day, for the field trip, I did it this way. Did this work? Did I order show shirts in time? No, never. Someday I will not be in a rush to order show shirts. So I just reflect on those practices. What worked, what didn't. Number 5, if you are a teacher that likes to pick your show themes for the next year, you can do that as well. I don't like to do that. I like to just let the kids pick. So once we get in here, after the first couple of weeks, I get to know the kids, they get to know me, and then we sort of talk about what we want to do for the fall show. And then the same process happens in January for the spring show. So, but I know there are some teachers in our district who like to walk out of here for summer break and know exactly what the show theme is. And actually, some of them I know plan what songs they're going to use. I'm not that organized at all. So, but anyway, some people might like to do that. Number 6, I have a welcome back PowerPoint that I do on the first day of school every year. So my seniors are like, oh my God, this is number 4 that I've seen this, but I update it every year. So this year I'll have to do a lot of updating, just because I'm changing some things around with the way I do things. So I'll do that, because I don't like to do that when I get back here for pre-planning. Number 7, I like to do a file cabinet purge. So I have a little 2-drawer filing cabinet. I like to just go through everything, and what I don't need, I just throw away. That way I don't keep accumulating paperwork that I don't need. Number 8, I have as a curriculum review. So basically what are my choices? What do I want to do for next year? I know we've been moving towards a lot of student choreo. And I have a lot of students who do Bollywood, who do African. We're actually even doing a folkloric dance. It's really cool. She's got these huge, colorful skirts that she's letting us borrow and do the dance. So I know I want to do a lot more of that. But I also know that I have a lot of new students coming in the program. So I'll have to sort of figure that out as I go. And hopefully some of those girls will have experience in those dances and can help teach or, set a dance for the show. So for me this year, the curriculum review isn't like something tangible. It's just that I know what I want to do. I know where I want to take the program. I want to do more Bollywood. I want to do more African. I want to do a bunch more different cultural dances. So it's sort of a vague plan for me. Number 9, I try to, if I can, make connections with guest artists. Maybe there was somebody I used this year who I really liked and I want to use again, and I'll reach out during that post-planning time and just say, hey, are you interested? I know we can't plan like an exact day and time, but I'll just try to make as many of those connections as I possibly can. So that's about it. I mean, it's not that bad. And like I said, if you need to either, number one, take the break and then do the planning for next year, or in a frenzy after this year, plan and then take your break and don't even think about it until we get back. All right, that is it for the school year 21-22 for the PLC lead for high school dance. I think I will see you next year as well. So if you have any topics that you feel like you want to discuss for next year, I am all ears on that one. So I hope you have a good summer, and I will see you next year.